Smile and welcome to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well, fam, in all your ways, and that you are living your best life. And I have to say that because living your best life is a state of mind, rather than a physical thing that you're actually seeing. And living your best life also means adjusting. There's always a period of adjustment to ensure that you to kind of align you with your best life. And this is an epic false flag, but it's also an epic time out that we can use to our benefit, because you can be sure the powers that be are going to use it to their benefit. And what we're going to see is an accelerated rollout of the New World Order agenda, with one world government, one world religion, one world police, etc., etc. And a lot of people had actually, they used to be called conspiracy theorists, the David Ickes of this world, who had always talked about the New World Order agenda and, how they were trying to basically control and shut down humanity, and how they were planning to, squeeze humanity so hard that, we are almost begging for this one world government. We're almost begging for this savior, and I've seen a lot of people saying Jesus is coming back, and I keep wondering which Jesus. I've also started seeing, a lot of celebrities singing he's got the whole world, and I'm wondering who's got the whole world. And let's not jump into these bandwagons. I'll definitely be doing an update on that, because I think it's very important that we be aware of what exactly is being pushed before, now when you see, we all know the celebrities are the puppets of the New World Order agenda. They're basically the frontmen of the New World Order agenda. So when you see 20, 30 of them singing he's got the whole world in his hands, what do you think they're saying? What do you really think they're saying? But I'm telling you, this one world government is definitely, on course. And last week we actually saw a former British Prime Minister talking about how, he was speaking at a summit, and he was talking about how one world government was needed to cope with COVID-19. You see? And it's just like, if you've already been, if you've already seen this map, if you've already seen this game plan, when they do it right in front of your faces, it's just like, whoa, they said this would happen, and now it's happening. So what happened is, former British Prime Minister, he was called Gordon Brown, has actually called for the creation of a global government to cope with COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in his words, he says, there has to be a coordinated global response. We need some sort of working executive. I mean, all these things, especially, the actions they're taking now. And it is so important for us to really be paying attention, because this is an epic false flag. So what are they doing when we're all trapped in, in quarantine in our homes? I've been getting some very disturbing videos about how 5G masts are being set up all over the divided states, particularly in schools. And we know that these 5G masts are literally like microwaves. But I'm diverting. I will definitely do a prophetic update on that. But what he said is that, he called for the creation of a global government to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic, saying the world government he proposed would address both the medical and financial crisis that the pandemic had caused. He said, they would also direct efforts to find a vaccine. They'd organize its production and purchase it in order to stop profiteers. And they would offer a direct response. Get this. I mean, this. The guys who are woke know what I'm talking about. They would have a direct response for central banks to protect emerging world markets. Now, we know the Rothschilds agenda. We know that every single central bank is connected. And we know that with this COVID-19, we are getting ready for an epic recession, an epic depression. And unfortunately, some people already in the divided states have actually started losing their job. Here in Africa, people, there's a lot of unease, especially in countries like Kenya, where 80% of our population lives on hand to mouth, literally. And so, when you tell them to stay at home, it's just like, where are they going to get food? Where are they going to fend for themselves? It's just not possible to shut down, countries where 80% of the people are either unemployed or daily wage earners. It's the fodder for a revolution. So what he said, Gordon Brown actually said that he would have liked the United Nations Security Council to have been invited to an emergency G20 countries meeting. Currently, the G20 meeting is taking place in Saudi Arabia to tackle the issue of coronavirus. I mean, the fact that it's even taking place in Saudi Arabia. I think the G20 meeting was actually supposed to be taking place in Uganda this year, but of course Museveni cancelled all international conferences, etc., for the foreseeable future. But seriously, fam, we gotta see, they are playing us once again. Problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, we react, they offer the solution. So in Brown's words, he actually said this is not something that can be dealt with, talking about COVID-19 in one country. There has to be a coordinated global response. It's just a take. I can't believe they're rolling this out so fast, so blatantly. Because they knew 2020 was the year of the opening. They're trying to turn it into the year of the closing. Anyway, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, Africa!
Welcome back to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going, fam? Really praying that you are well and that, you are using this time wisely. And I'm actually going to be releasing one or two videos about, especially us who know it's an end time kind of scenario, the kind of things that we should be doing to prepare ourselves. Things like buying seeds, things like downloading as many documentaries as you can about, off-grid living, how to create your own water, how to do this, how to do that. These are those times that all the prophets warned us about. We have entered the time of tribulation, which they are trying to create. But for the people of the Most High, this should be the greatest time of your life, because it shows you that soon and very soon there's going to be a turnaround, because life will never be the same again. Now we can obviously tell that they are getting ready to roll out the New World Order agenda, and I'm telling you, you're going to see once this whole COVID-19 epic false flag kind of starts to fade, the main discussion now is going to go into how to create this global, like a global government that is coordinate everything, etc., because they've made all the economies literally collapse, because whose economy is going to survive a month of nothing? And so life and the system that we know it will never be the same again. And that's something we need to be very, very aware of. Now, Gordon Brown, he was ironically prime minister in 2008 when there was, the global, I think there was some kind of global recession. And he actually coordinated the 1.1 trillion rescue package, which was raised at the G20 summit in London. And he had also called for an increasing World Bank and IMF, increasing the power of the World Bank and the IMF. The World Bank and the IMF, they are, New World Order tools, just like the WHO, just like the United Nations. And it's just like they have been planning this for so long, and, the Most High has shown us their plans. He has shown us that plan, but for so long we were just waiting like, I don't know, maybe this will happen in my lifetime, maybe it's not. Well, it's happening in your lifetime. And so, he a lot of, so he's, even though he was prime minister like 10 years ago, he has also been used as a puppet to come and try and promote this New World Order agenda. But there are already politicians in the divided kingdom who responded to him. One was Nigel Farage. He's the head of the Brexit party. And he said, Gordon Brown doesn't get it. Globalization is the cause of the problem, not our savior. I love it. But we have to, there's a phrase I was reading. Is it the Hegelian complex or something, which is what the fake mainstream media uses. And basically they'll have these, they'll have like someone pushing their agenda, and then they'll have a controlled opposition to try and make, to try and get people to have this duality thing. And then media will push one agenda, until it kind of passes. So, he went to Lawrence, who's an England, he's basically like an English Catholic writer he also rebutted what Gordon Brown had said. He said, Gordon Brown does get it. The one world government is about sheer power over populaces, not about helping people. They want a world of slaves. And he was a key Bilderberg attendee. And I think for you guys who don't know what Bilderberg is, I don't know what rock you've been under. But basically, there's a Bilderberg group of basically the world elite and all the brothers. And they have a secret meeting. They've been having secret meetings ever since 1954 on the kind of how they would steer the world. And here in Africa, we're not escaping that. Because time and time again, we have elected the very proxies that maintain their system, because they've made us totally abandon our own identity, our own way of life, our own mentality. And so now we're all about democracy and all about these presidents who have not been proven, who have not gone through any kind of initiation to show that they are loyal to the people, like the leaders, like the kings and queens and emperors and empresses of our times used to be. And so by proxy, the former colonizers or the agents of this New World Order agenda still control a lot of African countries, which is why we've seen ourselves, be used as guinea pigs for so long. Why we've seen, bio-warfare started with us, from Ebola to HIV. You can go and do your research and see how all these illnesses actually had patterns way before they were unleashed on the populace of Africa. But let me know what you think about Gordon Brown's comments. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. If there's any stories you'd like us to share, go ahead and email us at drmumbi@drmumbishow.com. Until next time, fam. Mwah.